Good morning, my friends. So nice of you to join us. We are here for another edition of Blissin'Out. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here in Costa Rica, and I couldn't be happier. The sun is shining, the plants are vibrant, and today we have a magnificent show planned. We are going to be talking about trusting the universe. This is a very interesting thing, and but it has to do with our own relationship with reality and with the world. And are we open to what this world has to offer to us, or are we resisting what is happening? And it's a philosophical thing. I never really thought about this too much until college. But in college, I met some very special friends who very much inspired me and inspired the way I see the world. And I want to say good morning to Elena, tuning in from Albuquerque. Thank you for joining us. So nice to have you on. And good morning, Jack Niel. Great to have you watching. Thanks for tuning in. I am having a great day. I hope you are too. So today we are going to be talking with my friend Allan, my best friend, a man who is not only a friend, but who has very much inspired me and been the person that I go to when I'm facing dark times or confused or facing challenges. And we've traveled all around together. We played rugby in university together, traveling around the country, and we supported each other through different emotional highs and lows of breakups and different relationships. And we lived together for many years. We traveled through Mexico together. Hopefully we'll get into some of those stories. But the thing about Allan is that he is very happy-go-lucky, meaning that he's kind of unconcerned about the future and always joyful and happy and in a good vibe. And I think that this is a very deeply wise and amazing quality for a person to have, because it just radiates positivity, and it helps us remember that the present is all we really have. The future, we have some ideas about it, but if you're caught up in ideas about the future, you're not enjoying the present. And so Allan is a guy who's always cheerful and good vibe and loving and friendly. He's probably the most universally liked person that I know. And this attitude that he has seems to just create positive, spontaneous things that happen to him all the time. So he's also a very lucky person with all kinds of lucky things always happening to him. And we all have friends like that. But Allan is quite a character in that sense. And I know Cecilia knows what I mean. Good morning, Cecilia. Thanks for tuning in. Cecilia is a good friend also from college. We were all friends together. And Cecilia, congratulations on recently having a baby and now being a mom. That is so amazing. I'm so happy for you. You're in my thoughts very often. Hope the baby's doing well. So without any further ado, I would like to bring on this extraordinarily wise person. The man with the vision for Karma Tribe originally. The whole idea for Karma Tribe came out of a conversation with Allan. Without any further ado, let's bring on the man of the hour, Allan Campbell. Hello.
How's it going, Dave?
Oh, it's going fabulous, Allan. Thanks so much for being here today. Of course, it's close to nighttime where you are. You're calling in from Netherlands.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
Feeling good. Yeah, actually, it's not quite yet nighttime because the summer here, the days are really long. So it's really nice. It's been a really warm summer and warm like last part of June and beginning of July. So the sun is out all the time. So we're enjoying the sun a lot. And this morning I started I went to a workshop with my friend Jolt from Wachama. and he gave us a workshop on the Wim Hof method on some ice baths. So I started the day very relaxed with my body cooled down in the summer day, and so feeling good. And when you sent me the message about being in the Karma Tribe Blissin'Out show, I was really excited, and I'm glad that it worked out. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, you're
I'm a little bit shy after the introduction too.
Say that again?
And a little bit shy after the introduction too.
Well, it's okay. You have a lot to be proud of, Allan, in the way that you live your life. So no need to be shy about it. Look at this. We have Cecilia saying, "Thank you. Mila's here listening with me. She has so much to learn from you guys." Congratulations,
Cecilia. Congratulations. That's so nice.
And look who just tuned in. Regina. Saludos, cracks. Oh, Reggie, so nice to see you. Amazing, huh? The power of
other community from the university.
Such amazing, special friends. I'm sure, Regina, if we saw you, it would be like not even a day has gone by.
Reggie, where are you? Are you still in Houston, or where are you now?
So, Allan, let's get to it. Let's get to this question. You trust in the universe. Now, have you always been cheerfully unconcerned for the future? Or did you have some kind of change somewhere along the way?
I think I never really had like a revelatory moment. Like growing up, I was kind of like just following, the path. Your parents try to guide you in like the path, and then your community tries to guide you in a path. And I was kind of like following the steps that I thought were kind of like set up for me. And I really always had like a supporting family and a supporting system, and like a lot of the stories that people have like about like nightmares in high school about like bullying and all that stuff. Like I never really experienced that. I always had like really good friends throughout all my school years. And I even remember I started my school in Brazil, and I remember having really good friends there too. Even though I just like vague memories from that. And then I guess my kind of like evolutionary path started when I left my house and when I left Uruguay, when I went to the States. And I started, Bob Marley was one of the biggest influencers for like kind of like shifting perceptions on the way of seeing the world, even though like sometimes reggae music has like a kind of like a militant and aggressive way of seeing the world, that then even though I like the loving and part of it, I sometimes feel a little bit shocked with the aggressive part. But yeah, so basically through university and the years after, I started shifting and started having more tools to understanding how, like, if you want to be aligned, if you are aligned, then the universe aligns with you, and we're part of all the system too. So there's kind of like not really bad or right happening. We're just like balancing in the system of things that exist at the same time. So yeah, we can go deeper into that. But yeah, there wasn't really one specific moment. I was kind of like lucky that I always had like a really nice support system. And I think that's what helped me to have like a good mentality of like what's to come kind of thing, or what is.
So I mean, in the beginning of college, I remember you telling me that you faced some like kind of depression and you were miserable, and at first things were not going so smoothly for you, but then you ended up somehow like shifting, and then the college was like amazing experience for you. So do you think that was because you changed the way that you saw it, or do you think that was because of the people you ended up surrounding yourself with?
Yeah, I think it's everything. I think the main thing was that like kind of like the structure that I had like kind of like mentally and my subconscious built for myself, or like kind of like creating a path forward, completely shattered. Like all my like kind of like friends and family and everything support system kind of like disappeared, and I was kind of like left to my own to myself. Um, so yeah, so at first it was really like that I'm like kind of like more or less of a like a homebody and a family guy, and kind of like to be like surrounded with like people that I love, and even though I like my time by myself as well, but like I need to have my loved ones close. Whenever that disappeared, when I went to university, then like my system completely crashed, and I had like a, kind of like a breakdown. What am I doing here? Like what's going on? And then I kind of like automatically had to like find ways of trusting that everything was gonna work out. But then I also, since that like kind of like structure or previous paradigm that I had like kind of like collapsed, then I was kind of like up to myself to recreate a new one. And yeah, so I was kind of like first just following a path that was gonna like make me successful throughout life, which was like get your secondary degree, be an engineer. The engineering world is going to provide a lot of opportunities, like people like highly regarded engineers. But then like in university, I realized that like there were so many other possibilities with all the different people from all the different worlds, and like I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I thought like it would be kind of like madness or craziness to just jump into a life field or a work field that I wasn't really sure that I was aligned with, and knowing that there was all these other possibilities. Of course, I was kind of like lucky that I was able to, that I had like the opportunity to work in jobs that like require less commitment. For example, waiting tables, and which are jobs that I'm fascinated with, because so nice interactions with the people, and they're so real because you're feeding people and you're like connecting to very deep levels. There's no like, for me, there's no filters there. But yeah, so yeah, the breakthrough was through university, just shattering the system that I had, and then just starting new, and then building this system of like believing, of knowing.
So you talk about getting inner alignment, and then how the exterior world, the universe, seems to align when you are aligned yourself.
Yeah.
And I think, in my opinion, that has to do also with like listening to your heart, listening to really what really resonates with you.
Yeah.
And also listening to your body. And if you have like a slightly uncomfortable feeling inside you, if you just kind of suppress like an uncomfortable physical feeling, you're kind of suppressing like an issue within yourself. Yeah. And you like, I think like trusting the universe is also like trusting your body, and trusting how you're feeling. And I think I learned that from you.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of like reading a book right now that I don't have right next to me, called Plant Intelligence, from an author called Stephen Buhner, and it kind of like goes into these topics because we also have like several intelligence centers in our bodies, and that all have like serotonin receptors, and serotonin is kind of like the hormone that like makes you understand like the stimulus from outside. But basically, we have them in the brain, and we have them in the gut, and we have them in the heart, and we have them in our immune system, and like, so we have them like in a bunch of places in our body. So for me, the important thing is like we right now we are in a very fast-paced world, and also there's a lot of demands from people to be producing, like the word like to be productive and to produce and to make impact. All these words are really big words, and like put a lot of anxiety on people to be kind of like on the go. But also there's a movement of slowing down and kind of like connecting more with yourself, and kind of like going to understand like the subtleties of how your body reacts to like different situations. And at the end, like for me, like it probably is kind of like a life process, but at the end, if you can be able to be in contact with all those like information centers that your body has, and be able to like read this fine apparatus which is our body and our entire system, if you can read it and understand like what it's telling us, then like it becomes kind of like our compass and our navigation tool, you know. But yeah, as you said, like sometimes we don't have time to sit and listen. Sometimes we don't have time to like contemplate a plant and like see like, okay, how do I feel in front of this plant, you know, or contemplate like life in general and say like, where's the next step that I need to take. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, when you like, yes, it's not that I'm like happy all the time. Like I have like tough moments as well, and I have like darkness too that arises. And whenever those moments come, I know that it's a moment for me to like come closer to myself and kind of like embrace myself and provide love to myself, and then also like build myself up with courage for the next step, because some moments of life are scary, and then just like build yourself with courage to just go for the next step, you know. And like a moment that I had there was like that, like we finished our work in Uruguay, Dave, and I flew back to the States, and I wasn't sure what to do, you know. I didn't really have a job, and the only kind of like thing that resonated with me was like, my brother is gonna go to California and there's surf in California. Okay, I'm going there. I'm going there. Luckily, like our friends, family, the Steads, like Johnny, you know, like and Andrew and Mike and Jennifer, like hosted us, and you know, we had a place to be. We didn't have to pay rent, so you know, like the community is also a big part. But I was like really down, and I wasn't really like, you know, motivated to get a job, not really sure what I need to do. And one day I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna like go cut my hair, like, you know, get organized, get my energy up, you know, like fill myself with this great vibration, and I'm gonna go out there and see like what comes up. And then like, you know, I got a job in an Olive Garden. Then I got a job in another restaurant closer to home. The Olive Garden was an hour from home. Then I got a job closer to home, and then I got a job online, which is something that like we both together, Dave, like set the intention in a trip that we did to South America. We did a trip, and we had some mystical experiences in the top of some mountains in the Lake Titicaca in the magical country of Bolivia, like in the island of the sun. And we were like, dude, like, you know, like our path is to find like online jobs so we can like connect to different places in the world and whatever. And like, you know, like this was an intention that we set like a year, and then it manifested like 2 or 3 years after, or even more. And it's like, wow, like, you know, how magical is that? Sometimes we want things instantly, but no, like things will come, you know, things will come.
Yeah, it's a beautiful and kind of funny story. And you ended up getting that job through your brother.
Yeah, through my brother, which I followed because of surfing, because he was going to California and to be with him.
And then I ended up getting hired for that same company through you.
Yeah.
Years later, and to this day we both still have that same job, and it's a blessing. And
yeah, it's
me to live in Costa Rica and you to travel around, and it's the most amazing things come unexpectedly.
Yeah, and also trusting and setting intentions, you know, like you can set an intention and like put your heart into it, and then just like let the universe like figure it out, you know. We can try to control everything to try to like make something happen like right there, right now, because we want it now, because that's when your craving is. But you know, the universe will organize it for you at the due time.
The interesting thing is like our illusion of being able to like control things and know things is totally an illusion, because we can't even like some things that we think that we really can control. Like, okay, yeah, I can control me walking over to over there,
Yeah.
But do I even know how I'm doing this? Do I even know how I'm like walking from here to there?
Yeah.
Like there's so many like million different interactions happening in my body that I don't understand at all. I just kind of know that if I think it, I can do it, but I don't understand it at all.
Yeah.
Even something that I think is in my control. Now imagine like all the infinite amount of things that are not in our control. So we don't really know anything. Even if I say like, I know that this is a glass of water. I know that this is a glass of water. But wait, what is water? Do I really know what water is?
Yeah.
No, we don't know. We don't really know anything. And so I think like this like trust is kind of like it's our relationship that we have with a reality, this crazy reality that we can't hold on to, we can't understand, that we can't control. But do we have a trusting relationship with it, or are we like in a constant struggle with it? And another thing that I learned from you, Allan, is the abundance, like this idea of abundance in the world. Would you say a few words about? Well, do you think that there's an abundance in the world? I know it's a very abstract question.
Yeah, and I think so, and obviously there's different levels. You know, this could be like depends on who interpret. Like everybody has an interpretation for everything, but like yes, and I would say there's an abundance of like kind of like love and like an abundance of caring, and even like we can say even like an abundance of resources if you want. Like and I can kind of like exemplify it in a couple of ways. Like first, like, and of course, like there is you know, there's people that like enjoy like a lot of material abundance or a lot of like food abundance or financial abundance, let's say, and a lot of people that completely don't have that at all, and they're more like in survival mode. So but I think like in that survival mode that like there's like still like love and there's still like compassion and there's still like caring about each other and like trying to help each other out. And of course there's greed and there is, you know, badness, but like that's kind of like the you know the opposing energies or the millions of energies that happen that are interacting at the same time, the same as like life and death, and also that's the same as like maybe we're incarnated one time in a lifetime that is an abundance in this specific thing, and then we're reincarnated in a life that is in abundance of this other thing, because maybe people that is like super rich in abundance materially are super lacking of abundance in love. So obviously there's like fluxes of this, but for me, like if you go outside, for example, when you're in the winter, yeah, there's not that much abundance. You don't see that much life. You know, everything is quiet. Everything is kind of like reserved. You know, everybody's like protecting their energy and stuff like that. But then you see like all of a sudden in the spring and in the summer, like you're outside and you know the world turns into like magic, and like there is like food for everyone to share, and there's an ecosystem. Of course, there's life and death because some people to eat need to kill another thing, you know, or whatever. But there's like this like Gaia is like is this being, the earth is this being that is like has all it needs for itself to exist as an ecosystem, and we're like an integral part of it. Yeah, we might one day might die, we might one day might run out of food, but we're part of this system, and like there is a richness in all of this and being part of this. So yeah, so I feel like there is abundance, and basically it's kind of like an internal energy that is going to continuously be shifting. We just have to like tap into it and be, you know, play with it and be in it, like embrace it.
Beautiful words, Allan. Beautiful words. I remember us having this debate about when bad things happen to you.
Yeah.
Whether, for example, when you go through like a time of great suffering and like pain or sadness, And I remember us debating about this, and I was saying, like, it's not necessary to, we go through this pain. It's kind of like self-inflicted because we're like very attached to something, and so it's not necessary to go through this pain. But I remember you saying the pain is what leads to the growth. And well, they say, pressure makes diamonds, or any kind of difficult time ends up leading to like teachings and learning valuable lessons and growth. And anything that grows goes through pain. And in fact, if you have a plant and you like start cutting off pieces of it, it grows much better. So do you still see the world like that every bad thing that happens is actually a good thing?
Yeah, I think I think it's a nice way of seeing the world, that every tough moment is the teacher. So that's where the real lesson is learned, because from easy moments we don't really learn that much. We can like be joyed, and we can celebrate, and we can share, and and like build like a relationship or whatever. But like things get consolidated and teachings get consolidated when the tough times come. So I think like the ocean like teaches that a lot too. Like we learn how to surf, and like kind of like in I think we learned how to surf in a really nice way, in the sense that like we weren't like put in a point break and like, hey, here's a nice wave to just glide off. We were like going where like nobody was surfing because we didn't want to be in the middle of the way, and like kind of like going in these like big closeouts, and like getting trapped in like crazy places of the ocean. And then by that, like kind of like understanding the ocean like better, and like understanding like what you can do and what you cannot do, and yeah, so that struggle of like, and then sometimes you just have to endure it to actually get to the teaching. But there's always the teaching and the light on the other side. I was going to tell you also about a story about abundance that a couple of months ago, like I was at the station, and the guy came and he's like, hey man, I need some money to eat. So I kind of like, I was like, he caught me like with my wallet completely open, so I feel like really vulnerable, So I kind of like checked how much money I have, and I had a 50 euro bill there, and I was like, and he's like, please man, please, and just my complete body just kind of like goosebumped or whatever, and I was like, like if this person really needs it, like I don't really need this to survive, So I gave him the 50 euros, and it was at the time that we were like really pushing to try to save up money to try to buy the boat, to try to buy the boat to do this trip that we wanted to do with Elke. So then we got like in a really big like argument with Elke, because Elke is like, dude, like we need to be more protective of our money, because because we're trying to save up for this dream that we say that we're gonna do, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I understand, but there was no way I couldn't do that there, like it was a situation that like, for the value of that money for me was much less than for this guy, and he was much more in need. Then there's a debate if that was true or not. I don't know, but I could never know that. And if somebody like kind of like asked me for desperate help in a moment like that, I'm gonna give it. But like 30 minutes later, this guy calls us, and he's like, dude, I'm moving out of the country, and I have these sailing suits that I'm not going to use anymore, which is like a $200 like suit. I'm going to give it to you. And we're like, huh? And I was like we were both kind of like crying, kind of like saying like, whoa, we're not like accomplishing our dream, like all this stuff, like all like frantically there. And then like from another angle, like just like somebody just giving us out of the blue, like, and these are our friends from from the Netherlands and Costa Rica, Jeroen and Marce, which are also starting a cool project in Spain called Unbeaten. But yeah, it was like, wow, like you know, it's unexplainable, you know, like there's no logic to that. Like you just have to. And I also think like that's also true. Like with material things, you have to like let things like flow through you, especially with money, because money is so abstract. If it's not flowing, it's for me, things that are not flowing, they become like a pond, and they start like if a pond is not flowing, it becomes anaerobic, it starts rotting.
Mosquitoes.
For me, sorry,
mosquitoes,
yeah, dengue. So yeah, so I think it's a good that analogy of the pond. I use it a lot in my mind. Like if things are not flowing, then like you know, if I don't create a flow for it, then it's gonna start rotting. So I think that's a nice analogy that I use. Nice metaphor.
I was reading this some wisdom from these ancient enlightened Indian sages, and they say like when you hold on tightly to something, then you're always gonna live like in lack. Whereas if you're willing to give something away, then you're never gonna be low on whatever you need.
For sure.
So that's exactly what you're talking about. That's the kind of like abundance like lifestyle, and that's why it was so fun to travel with you.
Yeah.
And experience and learn about just see how you live that way. And just then like welcoming like all kinds of magical experiences happening. Like I'll never forget, and we've had many different stories like this,
wow.
But I'll never forget when we were driving in our Volkswagen van through the desert from Texas to California, going through Arizona. And it's like so hot out, like the highway is just sizzling hot. It's like the middle of the day. It's like, I don't know, like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, and we needed to stop because our engine was in the back and not a lot of airflow, so we needed to stop, you know, because of this heat.
We needed to stop, and I think we were hearing like kind of weird noises, and we were worried about losing too much oil, and we were getting low on gasoline, and we pulled into this gas station, and under like kind of a shaded structure in the middle of the desert, and we start pumping in the gasoline. And suddenly we see like pumping gasoline, we see like kind of like a liquid coming out from under the vehicle. We're like, what is that? And like this liquid is like a pool is coming out, and we look under, and the gasoline is like pouring out from under the vehicle. And so we're like, oh shit. And we stop pumping gasoline, and the puddle of gasoline is like spreading out from out of the shade onto like the sizzling concrete, like all around the gas station, like this giant pool.
Wow.
And we're like, oh my God. And like we both like dove under the vehicle, and we're trying to hold the tube closed, and like gasoline is like spraying all over our faces, all over our bodies, and we're like, oh my God, this whole thing could catch fire, explode.
Yeah.
I hope my mom is not watching right now. But it was so freaky and scary. And we like grab the duct tape, elastic band, and then we ended up like being able to like close the tube and stop the leak.
Luckily, everything evaporated with no explosion.
Yeah, no explosion occurred. We were completely soaked in gasoline and like feeling like very sick and horrible, and my skin was like burning really badly.
Yeah.
But so we were just feeling like, I was feeling like miserable about our rotten luck. Like, what the heck are we going to do now? Where are we going to find a replacement tube? We're in the middle of the desert.
Trip too, no? Like a day into our trip or something.
Yeah. So we push Olivia, our van, like a few blocks to this parts store. Luckily, there's a mechanic store nearby. And we go in and we explain the problem, and a really friendly guy starts helping us. And we tell him the story, and he's like, oh, you guys are traveling across the country. I've always dreamed of doing that. Wow, like, here, let me help you. Here's the part. Oh, your van, it's all white. You don't have any stickers or anything. Why don't I make you guys a sticker for your van? Why don't you come over to my house and come over and like I'll make you a sticker. And let me know if I'm missing anything in this story, but we ended up going to this guy's house and becoming.
Yeah, first he kind of like consulted us in what we needed to put in the car, because we're like, well, it wasn't that big of a thing, but we're like, okay, like this tube broke, like, you know, do we need to like be concerned about another part? So he gave us a new filter in the tube and whatever. Like he gave us like all that we needed for the parts, and kind of like explained how to set it up, and then invited us to his house as well.
Yeah, and then so we went to his house. We met his whole family. He printed off a couple huge stickers that said Olivia for our van, and then his uncle is like, "Oh, you guys are traveling through. This is amazing to see such travelers here. We have this fold out like military bed kind of thing that you guys can use as a bench or to sleep on, and we're not using it. Why don't you take this with you?"
Yeah.
And they gave us like several like very valuable things.
Yeah.
And a chair, I think.
Yeah.
And so we became really good friends with him and got to know him. And then like a few hours later, we left town, like the vehicle completely fixed with brand new stickers and a new bed and a new chair and all this stuff that they had gifted to us, and a new friendship. And so it was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. How can
provides.
Exactly. That's kind of like the lesson that the trip gave us, like at the start, no? Like at the beginning of the trip, just like, hey, this is what trusting is. And then like, you know, we thinking about like going to Mexico, and people were like, no, Mexico, you crazy. You cannot go to Mexico. You cannot. And we ended up going, and it ended up being like that as well, like super magical. We saw some crazy stuff as well, but you know, we navigated okay, and we met some amazing people throughout the trip. So, yeah,
everything worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
and yeah, I think the lesson is like you have to go for those dreams or those things that you want to achieve, and you can never figure out exactly how it's going to happen or what exactly is going to happen or how you're going to solve these challenges, but you're going to have unexpectedly bad things happening, but you're also going to have many unexpectedly good things happening.
Yeah.
And the key is just to start and to just go for it instead of just being a prisoner of all your fears.
Yeah. And also for me, also the trip also like kind of like guided us to like not to be so committed on the outcome as well, because the important thing is the journey, right? Like the journey is the important thing. The outcome is kind of like, it's what finishes. It's the end result, but like kind of like all the teachings and all the learning and all the experiences happen in the journey. So the outcome, not to be focused on that much. And something that I just told my friend Nico Vere, friends with Fede, brothers of Fede, is that like. And another thing to like realize that like everything's gonna be okay is like, yeah, there's some like kind of like puzzles in life that seem like unresolvable at some points. Like, wow, this is occurring. Like, how am I gonna figure it out? Like, or I don't have money, or my relationship, or like these like things that you don't really know how they're gonna work out. But the thing is like, if we're always with an open mind to make the moment in which you are like magical and special, that's it. Because you can be going through a hard time, but you can still like have room to like have compassion, or to have love, or to share, or to give, or to write a song about the sadness that you're feeling, or just like make every moment magical. And like if we're with that like energy, like in that mind frame, then we're gonna be able to surpass any really big obstacles that are gonna come. Plus, we're gonna make our lives like rich, and in moments, And I told him like, we're blessed that like, and with you too, Dave, of course, that like that's a focus of us, Make like for me, like the concept of like having fun was not really present. I think for you it is, but for me it's really present that like I need to like live my life enjoying, admiring existence kind of thing. Like that's really important for me. And for some people it's fun, and I think fun is really important as well. And some people is like you know, like seeing new places and traveling and stuff. And I think that's important. And there's little things that are really important deep down in your core that you need to like bring them up all the time, you know, have them in the forefront, you know, like, and if you can do that, then like, yeah, the challenges are just like the teacher. So just like go through them and see what they want to tell you. And that there's moments, of course, that are really like a death of somebody is really tough. And you had a guest, Dave, that she had a really tough moment in the mountains of Guatemala that like kind of like broke my heart. That she came out of it like really strong out of it, but it was a really tough situation. But like she like, you know, created like, she's creating a lot of energy around that and bringing awareness and making that, putting that as like as her power tool. Sometimes these challenges like are the messengers and are the ones that take you through your mission in this life, you know, like kind of thing. So embrace them as well, and yeah, and just try to bring in your joyous sides to the party as well, you know, to make the music as well. So
Beautiful, wise words, Allan. Well, we're out of time. It's been really a pleasure. Would you be willing to play a little song to finish the interview in style?
Yeah. So yeah, sure. I asked you to play a song because I do this, like, this is also a mechanism that I use to cheer myself up when I create some space for myself. And like, I try to create these little mantras for kind of like for self-healing and to like believe in myself and to like build courage. So this is a little song that I wrote, or a little mantra that I wrote. And also it's a combination from something that I created plus like a little poem that I wrote based on a book that I read from the author Gay Hendricks, which is kind of like he talks about the concept of the upper limit. Sometimes we don't like allow ourselves to go above this limit that we put for ourselves because we get so scared. So then we like sabotage ourselves. But that's another thing. But it's a combination of those things. Bueno, acá following my heart, following my wonder, following my heart, following my wonder, I'll provide to my family, I'll provide to the plant community, I'll provide to myself. I commit to live in abundance. I commit to live in success. I commit to live in love. I commit to help others do the same. I commit to live in abundance. I commit to live in success. I commit to live in love. I commit to help others do the same. Following my heart, following my wonder, following my heart, following my wonder, I'll provide to my family, I'll provide to my community, I'll provide to myself.
Very beautiful, Allan. Thank you so much. Very touching, very beautiful. Hope to have you on the show again soon, Allan. It's been truly a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Awesome, Dave. Thanks for having me. And I admire you and the Karma Tribe. And you're changing people's lives and also exposing a lot of like amazing people in this world. Like I see all the shows and I'm super motivated by the people that show up there and like are sharing their knowledge. So thank you also for I know it's you have to organize it and you have to set it up and you have to prep it and you have to build a community and you have to stay on top of it. And I know it's like a lot of work that you love to do, but it's really helping like a lot of people in the world. So yeah, thanks a lot. Too.
Thank you very much, man. All right, well, folks, that was Allan. You can see why he's so universally loved, a man with a heart of gold. Hope to have him back soon. Thank you, Allan. Now, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for that special hour, the favors of the week. And today we have some crazy favors, especially one which we've never had a favor quite like this before. It really is going to blow your mind and touch your heart. So get ready. Now, remember, this is on our website, karmatribe.com. If you haven't already joined the tribe, please do. It's a website where people offer and request free services with each other around the world because it feels good. So our first favor of the week. Oh, I'll read this one last, actually. So here we have an offer from Nina C. offering English conversation. She says, I speak fluent English. If you're looking for a partner to practice with, I am available. I would like to help others learn English. I know that we have a lot of Blissin'Out viewers who English is not their first language, so take up Nina on this offer for English conversation. I'll be linking up these favors in the post shortly after the show. Next, we have an offer here from Jessica84 in East Toowoomba, Australia, offering emotional support and friendship. She says, I want to help as many people as I can across the globe through friendship and emotional support. I am a qualified social worker with counseling experience, and I have a genuine desire to help others. So if anyone needs emotional support or friendship, ask for help. Jessica is here for you. Thank you, Jessica, for this beautiful offer from Australia. Very touching. Here we have an offer from Charlotte Fredette in San Pedro, Costa Rica. This is a local favor. She's offering Ropa para regalar, clothes to give away. 2 bags of clothes, 2 bolsas de ropa, to anyone who needs it. 2 bags of women's clothes. So if you need anyone who needs clothes in Costa Rica, please contact Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte, for your kindness. Here we have an offer from The Healing Artist, also in San Jose, Costa Rica. The offer is for delicious, nutritious, vegan food. For anyone interested to learn to cook nutritious vegan food, I would be happy to help you. By the way, folks, I just give you a summary of what's been offered, but if you actually follow the link and read, there's a lot more explanation of why they're offering this and what exactly they're offering. And this woman loves cooking vegan food, and she's happy to help you. And I actually might take her up on this because I'm recently become a vegetarian, and I'm short on recipes. That's for sure. So thank you, The Healing Artist, for your kind offer. Okay, now we have a very special request coming from Springfield, Ohio. This is a request from Laura1520. And she says the title is Homeless Mother with 2 Children. You should check out this favor. This is just a summary of what she put, but she says, I am in need of anything and everything. We haven't found any housing yet. We need money, clothes, food, and maybe a place to stay while we get on our feet. We have started a GoFundMe page as well. This is our first time living like this. We need help to get back to stable living. Thank you and God bless. So I'm going to share with you right now in the comments the link to her GoFundMe. But we have a homeless woman with 2 children asking for help, asking for a helping hand on Karma Tribe. So I don't see, oh yeah, I can add this comment here. Okay. Here's the link, add it as a comment. And I'll also post that in the post. You can check it out. But this woman has 2 children. She found herself homeless. Maybe someone can help. Maybe someone knows someone in Ohio who has some resources. Maybe someone is willing to donate $20 to her GoFundMe. And I think it's amazing that she's asking for help through Karma Tribe. This has never happened before. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for spending some time with us on this morning to discuss trusting the universe. Thank you for being a part of Karma Tribe, for offering your gifts, for bravely asking for help when you need it, and for being part of this network that believes in collaborating and helping each other. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day wherever you are. Bless you, and thank you so much. Bye for now.